So word on the street is you want to become a reader in 2024, but you have no idea where to begin? I got you. Come over here. Okay, before I give out these book recommendations to you, first, hi, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Wajihat Bankole and welcome to my channel. And for those of you who've been here, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I have 27 book recommendations that I truly believe will get you in your reading era, okay? Because it's 2024, we're trying out new hobbies, and I know some of you guys have start reading on your 2024 resolutions, and I'm here to help you achieve that, okay? So with that being said, let's get into this video. So I have 3 categories, right? I have fantasies that I think are easy for beginners, and then I have romance, and then I have some good mystery and thriller books that I really think will get you addicted to reading. And I'm talking addicted to the point where you're at Barnes every other week for new books, like me. I'm just kidding. But before we start, I do want to say that please keep in mind, reading is supposed to be fun, not a competition. I know it's easy to see other booktubers or, you know, book talkers read so much in a month or in a year, and you get intimidated because you're like, how are they reading so much? But if you are a busy person, you know, have work, have school, I do believe you can accommodate your reading goals towards how busy your life is. As a first-time reader, it's very intimidating, and you might get scared off, and I don't want you to get scared off because reading is a fun thing to do. So with that being said, now let me get into this video. Okay, we're gonna start with the romance. Okay, so the first book is By a Thread by Lucy Score. I enjoyed this book thoroughly. This is a enemies to lovers, like office-based romance, and it was fun. And Grumpy Miss Sunshine also, so like if you're really into those, you know, Grumpy Miss Sunshine trope, this is perfect for you. Such good bantering, and I had a great time reading this book, and I do believe it's great for beginners. It is 500 pages but I think it's fast-paced, so don't let the thickness of the book intimidate you or the amount of pages the book have. Second book, also by Lucy Score, Things We Never Got Over, and this is actually a series. I haven't read the third book yet, but I didn't think to put it in this video because I don't want to recommend a book I haven't read yet, you know. But this is the first 2 books. Things We Never Got Over is my actual favorite book in the entire series. These 2 follow 2 brothers. This book follows the first brother, Knox. It was just a fun read, also 500 pages but I went through this book in a day, guys. So if I could do it, you can too. And I did that last summer, and I was still trying to learn my reading pace at that time, so I believe you can too. So I highly recommend this. And the second book wasn't really my favorite. I had a good time, but I didn't have a great time. Nash is portrayed as a golden retriever in the first book, but I think in the second book we don't get that much of his golden retriever energy. It is fun, and I think since it's a series, you read the first one, you might as well read the second one, you know. Okay, Archer's Voice by Mia Chardane. I annotated the heck out of this book, and I'm actually planning on rereading this book just to be in their world again. And it's kind of sad, but good sad. But I really highly recommend this book. Moving on, another, I think this is categorized as a romance book, but I was unsure, but I put it, okay? It's Daisy Jones and the Six. I think this is a fun read. You could also listen to it audiobook. I heard a lot of people listen to it and they really like the audiobook, so if that would help you get through it, you could do that too. Anyways, but Daisy Jones and the Six follows a group of musicians, I think in the 90s or 60s. I forgot what year, so one of those years, and it basically follows how their life is. And the form of the book I really like. It was like an interview type of format where we get what they're going through in like in the presence of when it was happening, and then we get, you know, them talking about it, you know what I mean? Each character has their own chance to talk about whatever happened, and I really like that about the book. It was so fun. I really recommend this. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I know a lot of people might not like this book, but I really like it because it just showed a lot of women empowerment and how back in the day it was really hard for women to, you know, pursue their dream without being sexualized or fantasized about, and how people had to do some things that they didn't want to do to get what they want. Like, for example, Evelyn, she had to marry 7 husbands just to get to where she wanted to be, because without doing that, they would just look down on her. And she also had to change herself, her looks. And I really enjoyed this book. It was just so fun and just empowering to see, and kind of sad because Evelyn's life was really sad and I felt so sorry for her. But I highly recommend this book. One of my favorite authors is Lauren Asher. I love her so much. And I really enjoy her books because they're so fun and fast-paced and just cozy romance reads, and just the characters are so lovable and just so funny. I recently read her recent released Love Redesigned, and I ate it up and I highly recommend it. It also talks a lot about mental health issues, and I really like that, like anxiety, depression, and I really enjoyed that about the book. And it was just a fun read. I have another Lauren Asher series, so this is another billionaire series, and these are kind of, they go small, medium, and large. It's so funny. But we have The Fine Print by her, and then Terms and Conditions, and then the last book is Final Offer. And this series follows 3 brothers who in order to get their inheritance, their grandfather made like them achieve certain tasks in order to get their inheritance, right? And we follow how each brothers had to overcome some challenges in order to achieve these required tasks. And it was just so fun to watch them. Girls always have the best comebacks, and I don't know how she does it, but she does it so well. They're really great. So I highly do recommend this one for beginners, especially if you want to get started with a series. I think this is a great series to start your reading journey with. My first book that really got me into reading, and I mean like addicted into reading, is The Love Hypothesis by Hallie Hazelwood. Y'all, I ate this book up. I ate it up. I enjoyed the heck out of this book, and it just made me obsessed with reading. And now here we are. Okay, here we are. I have like 100+ books, but this book is a fake dating trope, and it follows Adam and Olive. Olive is a PhD candidate, and Adam is one of the professors in the university. So they both come into agreement to fake date to help each other out. While they're doing that, they start falling for each other, and then you know, the drama happens, but the drama is so good. So I highly recommend this one. It was so good. Okay, and then I have Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I always say this is a true rom-com in a book. When I was reading this, it felt like I was actually watching a rom-com movie. Okay, so good. I really liked this book and enjoyed it. Wes was my favorite. He was just so funny and just so cute. Liz pissed me off because she was just oblivious, but it's so good, so I really recommend it. Okay, moving on. I dropped my book. Okay, Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This one was actually a surprise to me. I picked up this book with no expectations and came out loving the book to the point where I rated it a 5-star. This was so good, guys. Look, we follow Nora, Libby, and Charlie. Nora and Libby are sisters, and basically they grew up without their father, but they grew up with their mom, and then their mom passed. But Nora had always been like a parental guide to Libby. Obviously, the firstborn daughter, it's bound to happen. And then especially when their mom died, Nora really had to take up the role of her sister's guardian. And Libby gets married young, and now she has like I think 1 kid and then 1 on the way. So Nora is a literary agent and she's a workaholic, and Libby wants her to, like, you know, let loose a little bit, have fun. So they go on a sister retreat to Sunshine Falls, and at Sunshine Falls she runs into her enemy, Charlie, and you know, enemies to lovers, guys. What happens with that? We all know what happens with that. But anyways, I really like this book because as an older sister myself, I really related a lot to Nora and a lot of the feelings she was having, and it was just so fun seeing how her relationship with her sister gets better and how she finally lets herself be free and accept love. So I highly recommend this book. It was so good. And that is all for my romance books. So before we start the fantasies, I just want to say that fantasies are intimidating to get into because of the world building and all that stuff, and like sometimes the names, because sometimes the names are really hard to like pronounce. But don't let that scare you off. My little, you know, spill on that. The Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy by Stephanie Garber. I really like this book because it was so easy to get into. It felt like a fairy tale, like, you know those movies, fairy tale movies, but it really felt like that in the book. It gave me Alice in Wonderland vibes, and I really enjoyed it. I really loved Jack, and it was just so great. And again, it's a series. The third book is A Curse for True Love, but I haven't read that yet. But the first book is Once Upon a Broken Heart, and then the second book is A Ballad of Never After, and this was actually my fave out of the entire series. But I highly recommend these two series. They're perfect for beginners, and just the world building isn't that complex or hard to follow. So yeah, is Wish of the Wicked by Danielle Page. This is kind of a Cinderella retelling, but we followed the fairy godmother and how the fairy godmother became to be, but she takes it and twists it into a very unique perspective, and I really like the way she twisted it, and it was just so fun to get into and just so easy to read, and you know, it wasn't complex. So I really think a beginner reader could really get into this and finish this and enjoy it, because I enjoyed it. So I highly recommend it. The next book is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This is actually a duology, but this was actually also a fun read. Again, the world building isn't complex. I don't think there's much of a world building in this one that much, but this one is just more of like a war setting between two gods, and our two main characters are enemies, so it's enemies to lovers. But just, it was just so perfect because of the love story between our two main characters, Iris and Roman, and just the words between both of them. And then we have a typewriter that actually connects both of them, and that's how they, you know, get the words to each other. But it was just so cute and such a fun read, and I really do recommend this. Third book is House of Moran by JL. I also enjoyed this, and I really do think a beginner reader would enjoy it. Also, the world building isn't that much complex. There is a lot of world building in it, but it's not complex, and it's just so fun because the main female character is just so strong, and I love when we get a strong female character, and I had so much fun reading this book. So yeah, that is all for my fantasy recommendations. Again, I only gave you guys a little because those are the ones I think are perfect for new readers. Okay, so now last but not least, we're gonna get into our thrillers and mystery genre. This is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I think this is the perfect series to get into as a beginner reader because it's just so fun, and this is a mystery, like a romance mystery-ish series, and we follow 5 kids who have special abilities, these like criminal minds, and how they help the FBI solve cold case, like serial killer cases. We also get like stuff about their lives and how they are trying to get through things that have happened in their lives and why they became what they are now. And it was just so fun following each kid, and I really just enjoyed it. I read it in a week, all of them in a week, and it was just so fun. The Housemaid by Frida McFadden was also a fun read for me, and I really think it's easy to get through and it was just really intriguing to read and try to uncover everything that's happening in the book. It Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Lisa Jewell is a great author if you're trying to get into thrillers because she's so good at writing them. She doesn't make them as complicated as most would, and it's so easy to follow, and like her plot twists, you won't really be seeing them coming sometimes unless she does it on purpose. But I really do highly recommend it. She was gone. And then last but not least, I have the A Good Girl Guides to Murder series. I do think this is also another really easy series to get in through, especially for thrillers. This is kind of a thriller and mystery, and this one is actually so addictive, and you just really want to know what's happening in the book. The first book was my favorite, but the second and third book was okay, but I feel like we get more in the first book. So I do recommend this series for beginners. And yeah, that is all the book recommendations that I have for you. And I really do think you can start reading in 2024. Like, it's a new year, new hobbies. Again, don't get intimidated by others and how much they're reading. Reading is not a competition. Everyone's reading palette is different, and everyone's reading pace is different. Again, reading is a hobby that you're doing because you genuinely enjoy it and just to help you pass time. So just keep in mind, reading is not a competition. If you read one book in a month, babe, yes, that's good, okay? And if you don't read any, that's also good, okay? As long as you keep trying and you don't get intimidated and give up. So don't give up. I believe in you, and I think you can become a reader in 2024, okay? Guys, I have low attention span. If I'm able to read a book in a day, you can too. So I believe in you. I know you can do it. And I hope all these books make you feel less, you know, scared to get into it. Start small. Buy 1 or 2 books and start from those, or buy a series that have 3 books in the series and start from there. You know, you don't have to buy a whole library to start reading. I started from 1 book, and then as I kept reading, my library kept growing. So just keep that in mind. Reading is meant to be fun. But okay, I really hope you guys like this video. I hope I helped you start your reading journey. If you're new here and this is my first video you're watching, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, join the family. We have fun over here. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.